It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Welcome to this neighborhood, neighbor.
Buonasera, benvenuto su mymigolike.com. Siamo sempre felici di averti qui e speriamo che il video di oggi ti piace. So, welcome to mymigolike.com. If that didn't go through, we'll try it one more time. Tonight we're going to talk about some figures from Italy. I did a little review on them before. Let's get into the spirits. We'll do a little one more time. Buonasera, benvenuto su mymigolike.com. Siamo sempre felici di averti qui e speriamo che il video di oggi ti piace. So welcome to mymigolike.com. We hope the video today that you really like. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to show you a little video in a moment. It took me months to find this video. Look around. And the original video that was posted from one of the sites that is very, very influential in helping me put this information together. The video was removed by YouTube. I don't know why. But it was ages ago. It was years ago. I think it was from almost 17 years ago. So who knows? I mean, the actual posting, not the video. The video's actually redone from Italy in the 80s. So first, I want to thank Dennis Glinsky for pointing these out to me many, many months ago. Actually, I think it was last year. Probably around June or July, maybe August, and found these and just went on a hunt to find them because they're crazy. So, or I couldn't find any and had none. This is what sits in my collection now. And a few of them, I've actually given a few away to some other collectors. And before I get into them, let me show you the commercial. So basically what happened was at some point in Italy, they have a very, very famous laundry detergent / dish soap company called Sole Piatti, which means sun plates or plates of the sun, right? So sun plates, not plates of the sun, sun plates. So they did a promotion where they would, if you bought their laundry detergent, whether it was their whitening detergent, their regular laundry detergent, their dish soap, anything like that, they either put a action figure inside and plastic went inside, or he was attached to the outside. The ones on the outside, I'm sure today kids would just rip them off, and maybe they did back in the day. I'm not sure, but probably pretty much it could be. What's up, Brian? Brian Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen, at the helm. So these figures came in two different types, and we'll go into that in a minute. But the one figure doesn't have any stamp on it, and it has this little skinny. Let me show you both versions. Show you both. It's a little bit easier when we do the comparison. Okay, so it had this version where it had the skinnier head, more proportioned. There's no markings on the back. The figure's about 5.5, 6 inches tall. It's about the size of Amigo Little Rascals if you ever collect those or seen those. But then they came out with another version. This one's actually stamped Fairland Toy and had a much bigger head. You could take a look. The head's really out of proportion. The body's bigger, so the jumpsuits are a little bit different size. Whereas you could take this jumpsuit on the bigger figure and get onto the smaller one. Obviously, the other one wouldn't work so well. It would stretch. And there were basically 6 figures, if I have that right. So there was Sole Piatti, which was dish soap. There was Sole Blue, which is blue sun. There was Sole Bucato, which was laundry. There was Sole Bianco, which is white, right? There was Sole, what's the other one? I got to remember the name. God, I can't even read it anymore. My eyes are getting so bad. Sole Goce, which is sun drop, if you will. So there was a few different ones. And then, of course, there was this one, which is the only female in the group, which is Sole Delicato, which is the delicate one. She's the only female figure in the group. She's probably one of the harder ones to find, but which one that I actually found was the hardest to find was this one, Sole Bucato. I only found one. Actually, I found two, but the one person in Italy would not ship them to me. Obviously, they're Italian. The words are in Italian. They're close to Spanish. If you know Spanish, you could probably discern much of that out. But let me show you the commercial because I'm so excited. Just found it tonight. I posted it up on myamigolike.com. And if you scroll down and you look through the over 200 pages of things we have there, toys, costumes, vehicles, all kinds of stuff from back in the day, you'll find it's Fairland Toys. I think it's 5.5 inch or 6.5 inch Fairland Toy Sole Piatti heroes. They were considered superheroes. And the idea was that somebody would have a problem washing their dishes. So they would put their dish inside the soap, and a superhero with a live actor would fly into the water, and he would save the day by cleaning the dish spotless like it never was before. Same thing with laundry. So let me show this commercial real quick, and then we can talk about it in a minute. It's going to be in Italian, but basically you get the idea of what they're saying is, hey, this is great. They went in, and wow, they made my dishes and my laundry better than before. All right, let's show this real quick. Give you an idea. I'm so excited to have found it. It took a while. All right, here we go.
Contro l'unto di tutti i piatti, metti sole e vincerai. Piatto smaltato. Io sole bucato. Sicurezza sui colorati, con sole avrai. Colori al bacio. Noi siamo Sole Team. Sole è con te.
So probably some of the worst superheroes you've ever seen. But they only showed 4 of the 6. They showed Sole Bianco, they showed Sole Piatti, they showed Sole Blue, I believe, and they showed also, I think it was Sole Gochi. I think they showed Sole Gochi as well. So they didn't show the female, they didn't show Sole Bucato, I don't think. But in any case, you get the idea. So they're superheroes saving the world from dirty laundry and dirty dishes, which is just a little ridiculous. But in any case, Sole will even clean your car. That's an unofficial figure because it looks like glue. That's true. That's very true. So let me go through and show these guys. I'm not going to make this a terribly long video, but just to kind of give you guys a comparison. So this is Sole Piatti. Actually, let me show you what do I have. Yeah. So here's one in the bag, if you will. This is how they came. There's a little sticker on the back. This one was probably inside the packaging because it doesn't really smell like a laundry detergent anymore, but it's a sealed bag. There's no way to really attach them. Whereas this one looks like it maybe, I don't know, maybe had an attachment to hold it. But this was the skinny head version with nothing on the back. It's a little hard to see in the bag. But essentially, this is him. Okay. These are, I don't know if the original ones are Fairland Toy. They're not marked Fairland Toy, but I have a feeling they probably were. They just had the single jumpsuit. Sometimes the newer and the fat heads and the skinny heads, as they call them, or we call them, the material might be a little bit different on them as well. Again, not marked. They were very, they had a lot of, if you take a look, they had a lot of posability. Their arms could go up and down. They remind me very much of almost like a Type 2 Castaway body in the amount of posability they have, or an LJN figure. Here's the fat body version. If you could take a look at the fat head, as we call them, you can see a big difference. Oops, you can see a big difference between them, I think, next to each other. Fat head, right? And these were marked Fairland Toy. Fairland also made quite a few other things. There's also, they made a lot of G.I. Joe knockoffs, or 12-inch War Hero knockoffs. They made a Lone Ranger knockoff. Somebody had posted recently about it was a set, comes in a box. It's a cowboy and a horse. I have it. I'll show it to you. I found it the other day. It looks just like the Lone Ranger. I mean, pretty damn close. Even the horse has the same style, and they just made a knockoff version. They probably bought some molds or something. All right, so those are our red ones. I happen to have both the fat head and the skinny head of Sole Piatti. I only have one Sole Bucato, and he's the fat head, which is, if my memory serves me correct, the fat heads were the later edition. Not sure why they went that way, but He's the only one I have that's Bucato. All right, he is blue, but he's different than these blue, and you can actually see here. These are both fat heads. Yeah, these are both fat heads. So these are Soleil blue. They're both fat heads. I do have one. I do have a skinny Soleil blue. Okay, so these I was actually able to come by, the skinny and fat head. The Bucato only found one, and it's been a real bitch to find. This is Soleil Bianco, which I showed you guys. These are both fat heads, and the one in the bag is actually a skinny head. A little hard to see with the bag on. I apologize. Both of those. The female only came in one type. She is stamped, so she's probably the later version, of course. The Fairland toys are later. Her hair's a little bit of a mess. She did come in pink. She's a different body than the rest. They're pretty delicate. I mean, you could probably back in the day play with them, but today the plastic gets a little shitty. They probably come apart. Sometimes the elbows pop out and you can push them back in, but they are jointed with pins inside the shoulders, which is pretty nice. And she's actually in pretty good shape because usually these leotards get all runs in them and stretched out, just like old Migos, if they will. I found her 3 times. Was only able to buy her once because twice the sellers wouldn't mail them from Italy. Don't know why. And then these I have a shitload of. This one's faded. It looks like this is Skinny Soleil Gochi. And you can see you can see the dark green and then it kind of faded. Very much like the old Migo Green Lantern, the Neptunian. A lot of these, the colors and the green would fade out. Here is a fat head and a much darker version. He also has a hole in his foot. But for these, the green ones, for some reason, they must have made a ton of these because I have a boatload of them. Here is the fat head versus the skinny head. Now, the skinnies, they did come in a lighter green than these. These are a much darker green, later edition than these. This one is definitely faded out. I don't know, being in the sun or just the materials, but as I have so many examples of them, you can see that these are actually a lighter green. Okay, so that's it for the Soleil Bianchis, if you will. I think they're really cool figures, to be honest with you. They're definitely something I was very excited to get. And once I found one, I just went on a rampage to find them. If you're looking for them, you're most likely going to find them in Europe, most likely in Italy, if you're searching. So I tell you, start there. Price-wise, that's a good question. Anything is really only worth what the person's willing to pay for it, correct? So I would tell you that I've seen them go for as much as somebody wanted $75, which I'm not paying $75 for that. And then I've seen them go as little as maybe 19, but the shipping from Italy is killer. For whatever reason, the Italian post office charges an arm and a leg to ship. Even something as small as that could be $36 to $50 to ship. Whereas I bought stuff from Germany, even recently, a much heavier product, like a big gym figure, which is bigger and heavier, will cost $12. Even from Portugal, ranging anywhere from 17, 18, 19. But from Italy, it's a fortune. Let me see if I can show you the Fairland toy. I'm just going to show you the box. I want to take the whole figure out. It's a pain in the ass to put back in, but I'll show you it's the same company. Give you an idea so you guys can see what that's about. Should have got it out earlier. So I'll show you some other examples of Fairland toy stuff, which you may get a kick out of or you may not. This commercial, right? So this is Fairland toy West fully jointed horse. It is a complete Lone Ranger knockoff with a horse that's posable. It's not the exact same horse, but it has the same posability and movement as a Lone Ranger horse. This is a really cool set. I got this a long time ago, maybe $50, $60, $70, and I've seen one up on eBay. And this one's basically mint. I've opened it, and it was open before, but it was never played with, as far as I could tell. And the figure is up like $250. Somebody just got one a little cheaper. Yeah, maybe I'll open it to show you. I really don't want to take it all out, but fuck it. That's what it's about, right? Share and care. So I bagged him because I was afraid of losing parts. There's guns and everything else. But let's take a quick look at him. He's a much cheaper version of a Lone Ranger with kind of a European big Jim head, if you will. He kind of looks like that. He's got so where the Lone Ranger boots from Gabriel Lewis Marks were rubber, these are the same boots, but they're just plastic. He's got this really shitty body. It's kind of a, look at the gun. I mean, for Pete's sake, look at the gun. It's such a cheap knockoff, if you will. Right? It's just a crappy plastic gun. But I guess for kids that couldn't afford Lone Ranger or maybe couldn't find Lone Ranger or whatever it is, this was an option for them. The horse is definitely a better quality. I'll tell you that. Here, might as well just show it, right? Why the hell not? Okay, so here's all the saddle, his hat, and so on. The hat is plastic, but the saddle and stuff are rubber, very much like the Lone Ranger, but the Lone Ranger's hat was rubber, of course. Here's the horse. He looks more like Smoke. I guess if you were to pick a horse from Lone Ranger, that would be the horse he would most look like. Same, similar posability, if you will. It's not the same horse, though. I did compare it side by side. It's a great figure. It fits really well in with your Lone Ranger series if you collect them. Brian Sanchez is a collector, I know. But no, it is not a Lone Ranger horse. It's painted different. Its molding is a little bit different. There may be another horse from another manufacturer out there that looks similar to that. None that I know as of late, but it's just such a pain in the ass to get back in the box because I love packaging engineers. They figure out how to get all this shit that shouldn't fit in, a certain size box, and they figure out how to get it all in, but you can never do it properly again because it's only done the one time. So this is always fun. Yay. Pain in the ass. Anyway, so this is actually the Fairland toy who also made these Soli Piatti figures. Now, there we go. Now I'll get inside. Yeah, I put them in bags. I'm always afraid of losing the small pieces, and especially if you're moving shit around. And, I have a habit coming down here and shifting shelves and then coming back a month later and forgetting where I put anything and having a heart attack. All right, so here's another figure that's also made by Fairland Toy. You may have seen him. This is a 12-inch G.I. Joe knockoff. It's Fairland Toy, Johnny Strong. He's actually flocked. He's got a really shitty kung fu grip on him. He came in several varieties. This figure was also made. What the hell's the guy's name? Something Bruce. I forget. There was a few different characters based with this figure. One of them was made. There was a couple that were the G.I. Joe style. The other one that they sold, I think it was sold for I don't remember. I can't remember. But anyway, there's nothing on the back, but it's a really neat figure. It's a good, shitty G.I. Joe knockoff clone, if you will. Again, for kids that didn't have G.I. Joe, this is a great way for grandma to say, hey, I got you G.I. Joe for Christmas, and you never really got it. The Lone Ranger boots don't have, that big of a heel. Let's see, those boots are more. Yeah, these boots, Brian, are plastic. The side style is similar to the Lone Ranger boot, but they're plastic. They're shitty plastic, too. I mean, they're not even like G.I. Joe Hasbro plastic. They're like fucking dollar store plastic, if you will. A cooler G.I. Joe. Yeah, he is. So that is a cool horse. It's Fairland Toy. You can look it up. Actually, on eBay now. I don't know if the box one's still there, but there is a loose one, the horse and the figure. I don't sit here and collect stuff Mitten Box to collect for Mitten Box. First of all, I don't have the money. And second of all, I don't have a museum like Johnny Shedrick. He's got a hell of a museum. But I do like the art. I like, they took this picture with this, they kind of faded out the background, if you will. So it's one fully jointed horse, one saddle and bridle, one cowboy figure. Now notice he doesn't come with a stand for the horse. But the horse, if I remember correctly, does have the peg holes on him. So you could put him on a Lone Ranger stand. Matter of fact, I'm looking at something now where it's coming with an extra Lone Ranger stand. It's in gray. I don't know if that's Smoke. I don't remember seeing one in gray. Usually they're tan, but maybe it's the Smoke figure. So again, anyway, these were the same manufacturer of these. The original ones, I don't know if they're Fairland. I can't confirm anything. There's not a marking on the original skinny heads. 0. But on the fat heads, they definitely say Fairland Toy. All right. So any questions, comments, please feel free to leave anything there. Feel free to subscribe. We really like if you do that. It gives me motivation to keep going. If it doesn't, well, tough shit. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't really care. Do I, Sanchez? I don't really care. So let's do this one more time. Let's show this commercial one more time. Sole Piatti. I'm going to sign off. But I thought this was really cool. I was so excited that I found this tonight. It really just stoked me because I wanted to see the commercial that they're built on. I never saw it before, and here it is. All right. Anyway, good night. Peace out, bitches. Here's the last of the commercial. Then we're signing off.
Io Sole Piatti, contro l'unto di tutti i piatti, metti Sole e vincerai. Piatto smaltato, io Sole bucato, sicurezza più colorati, con Sole avrai colori al bacio. Noi siamo Sole Piatti.